for Movie Chats. Movie Chats.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Movie Chats with Ant and Rye. This week, as you can tell, we are talking about the movie Friendship from 2024, written and directed by Andrew DeYoung, starring Tim Robinson and Paul Rudd. The gist of the story is there's a guy named Craig, played by Tim Robinson. He's a bit of an introvert. He works in this job where he tries to make apps more...
is digital innovations, right?
Something like that. He
trying
tries
to make
the
apps more addictive.
Correct, yeah. Meets this new neighbor called Austin, Paul Rudd, who's this, he's this kind of aura kind of guy. He's in a band. He's cool. He's a weatherman. He's got a handlebar moustache. He's Paul Rudd. Then, they kind of develop this friendship because, Craig gives Austin some really good advice. Just ask. Austin really wants to be a morning weatherman. And it's like, so Craig's like, just ask. And he does. And they're give each other really good friendship. And then there's a bit of an awkward kind of friends encounter. And then things kind of unravel for this friendship.
Yeah.
And that's where it lost me, because that happened at about 30 minutes where Craig has this very, very awkward party where he goes a little bit too far. Then, he tries to be like a bit of a clown, like he eats some soap, and then he kind of just...
That was weird.
Then they all kind of just want to go, you're weird and weird. We're just not going to want to be with you.
Yeah.
But then this movie about friendship completely forgets the concept of friendship, and it's all about kind of Craig and his wife Tammy's marriage is on the rocks. Because
and even that doesn't work.
No, there are multiple moments throughout the film where Paul Rudd isn't even in it. After that 30 minutes, that first 30 minutes, he's in about 3 or 4 scenes. That's it.
Yep.
And
I don't understand the story either, because so it started at the beginning, and I thought, the first 30 minutes, as you were saying, I thought it was going to be something more about maybe a bit of a comedy, but with a dramatic tone about when you're older, when you're a guy, it's harder to make friends. When you were kids, you go to the playground. Yeah. It's very easy to make friends with people. When you're older, when you're married, when you're a guy, it's harder to make friends. That's just the fact. That's why a lot of guys feel so lonely. And I thought this is what this was going to be about. Then when they had this party and he started to get weird and they have a fallout, when he started to eat the soap, I thought, maybe this guy is actually on the spectrum somehow.
Yep.
And maybe there is another layer added to, it's not only about being an older guy trying to make friends. Maybe it's about this guy is so socially awkward and doesn't get social cues. He's a bit on the spectrum, and it's even harder for him to make friends. But it's not about that. And at the end, it's not even about trying to mend the friendship or anything like that. It just turned into a very obnoxious person. He's not redeemable in any way.
Oh, absolutely. Because when you first meet him, he's kind of... He's just helped his wife get through a cancer battle, which on that doesn't really go anywhere other than the fact that in that first scene where she's like, I've just beaten cancer, and, Craig was my support person. Yeah. So he's like a very...
It's never being brought up. The only thing that they bring back is in the first thing when she's saying, I haven't had an orgasm. And then they bring it back when she's stuck in the sewer and it's like, I managed to have an orgasm there. That's the only connection. What the hell is that?
Thank you. And then we've got Craig and Tammy, who have been married for 16 years. The way they talk to each other is not how a husband and wife talk to each other who have been married for 16 years. This is like a guy, like I've watched some of Tim Robinson's comedies, and he does cringe comedy well. This was just such a cringe comedy overload. It was too much cringe. He eats a soap. He takes his son on the nature hike because Austin took him on the nature hike and kind of showed him how to pick mushrooms. Oh, we'll eat these mushrooms. And then that caused him to get sick. That boys' night where he invites all the guys at his work to his house, and he does, again, doesn't understand social cues, but he just goes that one step overboard where he just yells at them and swears at them and says, "Get the F out of my house," and stuff like that. And they're like, "All right, no worries."
Yeah, it's never really warranted as well. It's never like when he has outbursts or when he has like an outburst at the mayor because he's in charge of his campaign. Yeah. It is so unwarranted. And yeah, I get it. It's meant to be cringe, but it's not funny. I think I can count on one hand how many times I not even laughed, but giggled through the movie.
Yeah. Look, I'll admit there were a few moments where I did chuckle, but
yeah,
and because it was silly. It was Family Guy humor, but then it went overboard, and then it was trying to do two things. It was trying to be this really serious movie about friendship and relationship breakdowns, but then it had this horrible cringe comedy into this. Yeah. It didn't know what the identity of the film wanted to be. It had a mixed identity. It confused itself.
Yeah, and it's none of your characters are likable. And I agree, the couple, him and his wife, first of all, they have zero chemistry.
No, yeah, right.
You just don't believe that they would be husband and wife. They would be attracted to each other. Nothing in there. The family dynamics is also so off with the son. When there is something about when he kisses the mother on the lips, and then it is so cringe. And then she's also hanging out with her ex, which is a bit of a red flag from the get-go.
Yeah.
And I don't know, this is so...
Both those plot points don't get resolved. Like, you don't know why this mother and son have such a close relationship where they're kissing each other on the lips. Is Devon actually just a friend? Is Devon actually a lover? And then obviously there's the welcome back party when she comes back from the sewer, where my God. All the people,
even that is horrible.
Because he just, again, Craig just makes it about him, goes off, then he just walks outside and he has a cigarette, and it's like everyone else.
This is where it really loses me, because I can't have any empathy for this character. He took her to the sewer, which was a horrible idea, and then he leaves her in the sewer. She's missing for quite a bit. She comes back like all dirty, quite, I guess, a bit traumatized as well. And she has this welcome back party, and he messed her up, and he manages to make it about himself and to ruin it. It's like, my God, you are so obnoxious. It's not funny in any way. It's more like, God, I would want to run away from you as far as I can.
Right? Yeah. Another thing that is absolutely not needed is the coarse language. The coarse language is just, there's too much. I'm not a prude. Yeah. Like, I can drop the F-bomb, I can drop the C-bomb, but there's no need for, it's in there just, I don't even know. There's not even a fact.
No.
I don't know. There's no reason for so much coarse language.
There is no reason. It's not through because of the emotions that they are going through. It's not to make it funnier because it's not funnier, especially when you're using it so much. It just loses its impact when you want to use it to bring something, either if it's comedy or if it's to make a point. I don't know. It was a bit overacted at some point, I felt.
Yeah.
When, for example, his phone falls into the mud and he's just looking at it and be like, "Oh, my phone! Oh!" And it's like,
yeah,
people don't act like this. What is that?
No. There's no, never once did I feel it was natural. It was never a natural conversation between anybody.
No.
So occasion, maybe at the very beginning between when Austin and Craig, they go up to the roof and they have a bit of a nice man chat. Even when Austin's with his friends group and they're talking about, like, he's got a really nice friends group and one of the friends is worried about his daughter, and and they're like, "You're really, what, she's really lucky to have your dad like you." And like, that's when Craig, he's just enamored by this friends group. And that's where I thought, like, when I first started watching this, I was like, "Oh, this is going to be a 4 out of 5. This is going to be great." And then it dropped off, and it's just like, oh my God, this is just not fun to watch.
Yeah, it gave me a bit of a weird vibe from the get-go, but it was not unbearable. As it progressed, it became unbearable because it does other thing. I mean, it's not only that he's obnoxious, is that he trespasses. He steals
Yeah.
from the home. Yeah, he's a liar. He's a snitch. He's nothing likable about this guy.
No.
I don't get it.
And I hated that final arc where, again, he breaks into the party where Austin's having his friends over. He pulls out the gun and he's going nuts. And then they obviously try and tackle him and stuff like that. And then Austin's wig comes off. And so, because he knows, Craig knows Austin wears a wig, he's trying to kind of hide it because he's a TV weatherman. And, he goes, "Oh, your wig. Oh, no, it's askew, tidy it up a little bit." And he's, "Oh, thanks." Then he gets arrested. And then there's a wink from Austin to Craig at the very end when Craig's in the cop car. And it's almost like, "Oh, everything's okay now."
Because I protected your secret that you're balding and you're wearing a toupee. It's just so toxic. It's toxic to the max.
Yeah.
And it's not even funny because that's one of the scenes that actually made me laugh. Is the first time that they're in the jail cell and Paul Rudd trips and the toupee comes off. That was funny.
I did laugh at that. I did that. That was actually, yeah. And the drug trip as well.
The toad, when he licks the toad and he gets a trip and he just goes to Subway to order a mundane sandwich. That was funny.
And then he obviously the drug dealer who I dubbed young Dave Franco because he looked like a young Dave Franco to me. He's like, "Oh, how long did it last? Like a week, a month?" And he's like a minute. I went to Subway. Now the toad works in mysterious ways. I did laugh at that.
Yeah.
It didn't help the rest of the film.
No, it didn't. You know what it reminded me of? Do you know the Cable Guy with Jim Carrey?
Yeah. I wrote.
But the Cable Guy is such a better movie. If you want that story, watch the Cable Guy. It's 100 times better.
Yeah, much. Oh dear. A movie called Friendship. There's very little friendship in the movie. It's not.
No, it should be called Toxic.
It should be called Egocentric. Could be called.
Yeah, or 3 question marks and an exclamation mark.
My ego. He could
or
be,
just like a Rick-rolling song, because you just got trolled watching it.
He's main character syndrome. It could be he's got main character syndrome. Yeah. It's all about him. It's all about me.
Yeah.
So bottom line, not a recommend. Should we go into our scores?
Yes, do that.
I'm going to give it a 1.5. It's not passable. You do laugh a little bit. Paul Rudd helps the film, but the fact that he's off screen for, I would say, 75% of the film doesn't help. He's probably got a screen time of about 20 minutes, 25 minutes of the total thing. It's a Tim Robinson fan movie. If you're a big Tim Robinson fan, you will love it. He's only okay to me, so no.
Yep. I give it a 2 out of 5. It's the number of laughs that I got during the movie. So 1 star per laugh. It started okay. It started okay, but it's poorly. I think I don't get it. I don't like when I watch a movie and I feel that I'm getting trolled. It's very cringy, but not cringy in the way that, it's so cringy, it makes me laugh. It just makes me angry and uncomfortable. There is no growth in the characters. And the comedy doesn't really work either. I was scratching my head when I watched it, but I did not enjoy the experience. It reminded me of the Cable Guy, as I said, and I think the Cable Guy did what this movie is trying to do in a much, much better way. So watch the Cable Guy, not a recommend for Friendship.
Yeah, definitely. 100%. Yeah, I had in my notes, reminds me of Jim Carrey of Cable Guy. And it's just like that. 100%. But yeah, this is nowhere near as impressive screenplay or direction. No. So no deal. Sorry, guys. You can't win them all. We can't watch. Not every film we review is going to be a winner.
No, look, we watched it, so you don't have to.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Please Tell us what you think in the comments. Do you agree? Do you disagree? And as always, we'll see you next week.